Movement mindset.
Movement mindset. All right, guys, welcome to the Movement Mindset powered by Station Athletics. I'm Chris Hardenberg here with Joe Pasalacqua. You may notice the new setup today.
Yes.
Very distinguished. And
Look
so
what I can do with my legs.
I don't know, we're trying something new. Well, why not? So we're going to be in chairs hanging out, but today we're going to be talking about something Joe and I were texting about this morning, how
They've just been coming to me.
I know, Mr.
contents.
Idea guy over here.
I just wake up 5 a.m. and like, boom. Today we're talking about this.
Shot out of a cannon. Here we go. But he wanted to talk about how one of the only things that that someone can't essentially buy their way out of, if you have someone who is successful and has money, like one of the only things you can't buy your way out of or buy your way into is a healthy body.
Yeah, it's like conceptually, it's super interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
you just take like everything health and wellness, or like even like personal things.
Yeah.
Want a car, you can buy a car.
Right.
Want a house, you can buy a house. Right? Like you go to work, like you just
Yeah.
manipulate it based on that. But from a fitness perspective, you can't fake a healthy body.
Right.
Like you just can't do it. If you're overweight, you're fucking visually overweight.
Right.
Right? You can't like buy your way out of it. And some people argue like, oh, I'm gonna go on Ozempic or something,
Sure.
right? I'm gonna go on this medicine or that. Yeah, but like you still gotta exercise. So I guess to really frame this, I wanted it to be like the best conceptually piece, and if you were to like quote it, would be you can't buy yourself abs,
Mhm.
right? Like that's like
Yeah.
the biggest concept, right? Like visual shape is something that you work on over a long period of time. So it takes dedication and consistency.
Yeah, like you said, over a long period of time. I thought something was cool. That was cool because I was thinking about it on on the way in. Was like, okay, hey, if I were to look at the other side of the coin, someone could argue like, all right, if I'm overweight, I could get like liposuction, right? Or you have someone who could have plastic surgery. BBLs are big right now, right?
Mhm.
But it's like at the end of the day, that doesn't make a healthy body, right?
No, it's like a mask. It's like we did an episode on red light therapy and all
Yes.
these things that like in your head make you feel good, but if you're not putting in the work and you're not eating properly, the results they're not results. It's a mental like, oh, I felt better because I did this and this. I'm like, yeah, but you still didn't fucking work out. You didn't lift weights. You didn't do strength training, and you still eat like shit.
Right.
Oh, and you still drink a bottle of wine at night. Right? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm saying this, like, so use that as an example. If you go get, like, here's a great, perfect example. Mommy makeover, liposuction, everything you talked about. If you still eat and drink like shit, you went through all that torment of your body and you gained it all back
Yeah.
in 6 months, maybe less. Because it's just like, you have to work towards a goal. And again, as you get older, there's other ways to do it, because like some people get frustrated on weight loss.
Yeah.
Right. But then there's the conversation of like, okay, do I have a medical imbalance?
Right.
Go get blood work done.
Mhm.
Right. Is there a hormone product that I can take that can enhance my weight loss journey? Right. Or my strength journey, whatever that is. There's obvious things that can help you based on where you are in your life. And if you're in your 20s, it's different than when you're in your 30s. And we know this, right? It's, the way we train now is way different than we did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to change again in 5-6 years. Like we're in our 40s,
Mhm.
right? Oh, Jesus.
Oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah. Javier's over here. Like,
he wouldn't know what 40 looked like if it bit him in the butt. Yeah.
Dude, I
That was
got
a rough look. I
a
don't
bunch,
want that.
a bunch of years left, man. Come on. But so I guess like the whole thought process here was it really is the only thing that you can't just like force.
Yeah. You can't
Right?
fake it, right? Like there's things like you said that you can do that can shortcut or try to skirt the system, right? Even on the other side, if you were looking to build muscle, like someone could get on gear, right? Like they could start taking
Yeah.
some sort of steroid or whatever. But that's not gonna
I know a lot of people that have done that and they still stay fat.
right, because they're not exercising.
That's the whole point, is it's still health and wellness is a lifestyle choice. It's not a quick fix. You can't do a quick fix. Here's a great example,
Okay.
right? And you're going to love this.
Okay.
Okay. people think our busiest time of the year is January and February, right?
I know.
The months actually kind of suck. January is like an okay month. February is like an okay month. When's our best months in selling challenges
Yeah, I mean,
and intro courses?
for the last, ever since I've been
It's
here.
been since the beginning of time.
Yeah, our biggest month's always May.
May
Always May.
and June
Yeah.
are our two busiest months in our in the Sage Athletics fitness, like when we do our numbers.
Yeah.
And it's laughable. People are like, oh, new year, right? No, people have a fucking vacation in July and they want to do 6 weeks of fitness because they think they're going to be a supermodel before they go on vacation, right? But like, that's the thought process that's burned into people's heads.
Yeah.
Is if I do this for a short period of time, I'm going to have results. And then if I don't have results, it's a problem and it's this person's problem or that program's problem. It's not. It's the individual. And that's why our program is set up in such deep phases to where it's like, okay, you do that 6-week block and now that's your intro. So now what are you building towards? So we've taught you basic nutrition and fitness, right? We try to embed it as a lifestyle. And that's why members stay long in our programs,
Right.
like well over a year.
Yeah. And it's important to have that progression, because if you don't have the progression, people can fall backwards. But, you know, it's not even just like the visual aspect. Like you can pay to get things done visually, I guess, but you'll never build the muscle tone you want.
Of course, but like when you say that, you can pay the things you can pay for, like, okay, what's really popular right now? Fillers,
Yeah.
lips, right? Botox, things like that. But it's still not health and wellness.
And that's what I was going to say is like, but if you look at it, it's like you're masking the fact that, you know, what's going on the inside, what's going on underneath the hood. Like you still have high blood pressure. You still have issues with insulin issues. You still have issues where, you know, our scale measures visceral fat, which is like basically the fat that's around your organs. And like, that's still going to be super high because you're not a healthy individual. And so you're paying to try to mask the problem. And then 20 years down the line, you're paying for medication because you never actually addressed the problem.
You never did and another thing we talk about too is like, and so this is something I get very impressed by, is people who have the best results in our facilities, they do one thing different than everybody. Effort.
Yeah.
That's it. It's effort. It's visually understanding that the more effort I put into this, the more I'm going to get out of it. And I'm not just talking about the exercise piece. I'm also talking about the nutrition part and holding yourself actually accountable for keeping goal orientation.
Yeah.
Because that's all life is. It's goal orientation.
Well,
you could put that in every part of your life, and everything is goal orientation. I want to accomplish this. Okay. And you look at the progress. And if I stay focused on that individual goal, it's very likely that you're going to accomplish it.
And that's what I was going to say is like for the people in our gyms who do focus on that, or not even just in our gyms, but in general, people who recognize that the fitness journey is an effort thing, and you can't buy your way out of it or fake it, right? That applies to life too. Like if I'm someone who walked into the gym super nervous, and this is a lot of people who come to our gyms, super nervous, I need to lose 30, 40 pounds. I don't know what's going on. I see people swinging from bars and being upside down. And it's like, what the heck is going on here? But they just say, you know what? I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust the person in charge. They lose all this weight. It's like, how does that not translate to, you know, you're having an issue at work and there's this huge project that's due and you're not sure if you're going to get it done, but you just put your head down and freaking grind and get it done. Or you're up against it and there's you're having family issues or there's health issues. And it's like, you've now trained not just physically, but mentally in the gym to be able to say like, no, I faced this challenge head on and I fixed it with effort and determination. I can now map that effort and determination to somewhere else in my life. And so if you're looking for the shortcut, not only do you not get the physical results you're looking for, you don't get the mental results you're looking for. And so it's like, it really applies to what you said. Like you can't buy your way out of a healthy body and a healthy lifestyle. Like if you want muscle tone, you want to be able to play with your kids, go up and down the stairs without breathing heavy, you know, be able to go for a really long hike, be able to be the person who can face challenges head on, you have to earn it.
Yeah.
And you have to earn it over a long time. And you have to earn it with consistency. And the tough part is like, that's not a sexy selling point to be like, hey, you're going to come in and we're going to teach you how to do this. And over the next 5 years, you're going to not be able to recognize you.
What kind of COVID did to a lot of people, about how much like weight and depression
Yeah.
was created. Like, I don't know why that just popped in my head. I just like started thinking about like a couple people that I know where
Yeah.
they gained like a tremendous amount of weight. They did that in like 6 months.
Mm.
And it took a long time to come out of those bad habits, you know, of like sleeping too much throughout the day, not being productive, you know, not working out, eating like shit, right? Those habits are not like, for most people, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
I know that for me, if I start like meal prepping or I work with a meal service, I can address the nutrition part pretty much immediately, right? And because I've done it so many times. But again, I don't have lifelong bad habits because I've been in the fitness industry for, well, you know, better
Right.
part of 12 years.
Right.
Okay. Because we live it every day. Right. But what people sometimes forget is just because we're in the fitness space doesn't necessarily mean that we have endless time to work out. Right. We're still running, we're
Right.
still running a business is what it comes down to. Okay. But we can analyze and verbally say that like you're like the fitness is a huge important part of the strength training. And if you're not doing strength training, it's an issue. So it's like, let's kind of like flip this to the other side, right? It's like, okay, people are like, oh, well, do you remember when Marquand built that gym out for that plastic surgeon? I don't know.
Vaguely,
Well,
yes.
anyways, so there's actually a couple scenarios. I'm just going to use this as a bulk because I know
Sure.
a couple coaches for us that have done this up here for some people in different areas. And like I've seen them build gyms out for like $60,000, $70,000
Mm.
for these individuals. They still look like shit.
Right.
Just because you spend a lot of money on something doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to utilize it.
Yeah. And that's
Okay.
actually a great point. It's like we're talking, most of what we've talked about so far, and I'll let you finish, is like spending money to affect your body, but there's also spending money on the fancy equipment
Mhm.
and then not even using it and letting it gather dust.
And that's why our program is designed the same way, right? To kind of like finish that thought was, okay, if someone spends $60,000 or $70,000 to utilize state-of-the-art gym, a sauna, red light therapy, like all that crap, freaking, you know, $6,000 cold plunge, everything. Okay. Individuals think that the financial piece keeps them accountable.
Mhm.
It does not,
Mhm.
because it's their willpower in actually being successful and obtaining the goal.
Right. Yeah, and so I think a good thing to kind of end on is speaking to our members specifically is very much like, you know, for the ones that have been there for a while, it's you guys are the example. You guys are able to lead the new people who come in. You guys are able to, because they know the journey's not easy, right? And so being able to be the person to be like, hey, I know it's going to get hard here, here, and here, but if you keep pushing, you know, you're going to be successful out the other side. And then for the new people is being able to understand that, like, continue to show up, continue to put the effort in, continue to talk to your general manager to make sure you're getting the advice that you need, and understanding that, like, this is one of, if not the only thing, one of the only things in your life that there's no shortcut to. And so you have to keep putting one foot in front of the other. You have to keep showing up to the gym. And if you do that, you're going to feel way better out the other side physically, and then also mentally be able to attack any challenge that comes your way.
So like, great point. So my last thought
Yeah.
on this is it's why we instill every aspect of what we find health and wellness into the membership
Yeah.
itself. So the clients and members that understand, hey, I get this, and this, I'm going to utilize it and utilize the GMs and the staff to obtain and reach their goals. Those are the ones that drive everything home.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's really the biggest difference, right? It's why our life expectancy of our clients are so long, because we develop a step-by-step program that you go from phase 1 to phase 2, and the progression is forced on you.
Mhm.
How many gyms have you gone to or worked at, right? And I remember when I was coaching years ago, my biggest thing was I wanted the individual that couldn't hold a barbell over their head, or someone that was trying to snatch heavier or lift heavier on their weights. You have to force progression on them, because that's where people lose interest.
Yeah.
Okay. So our program is designed for people to not lose interest, because they're always obtaining micro goals because of all the things that we provide them.
Yeah, absolutely. So Guys, thanks for listening to us. This was something that was pretty impromptu, right? But I thought it was worth talking.
5:15 this morning.
Right,
talking.
basically. So, but we thought it was worth talking about just to kind of like help provide some framework to people who are maybe thinking about getting in shape, and then obviously encourage, for those of you that listen to us and go to our gyms, encourage you guys to keep going. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening. As always, like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Instagram. Give us a 5-star rating on the podcast platform you listen on. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.